Today we're going to do a quick investigation of zero and negative exponents to see how they work the way that they do. So remember all those properties you've learned in math before? The commutative property, the associative property, the distributive property? Well, there's also this one called the transitive property. And what the transitive property says is that if A equals B and B equals C, then this means that A and C also must be equal. The transition is happening to get from A to C through B. That's called the transitive property. We're going to need that when we talk about raising a power of 0. We're going to use colors green, blue, and orange to help us see that. So for example, if we knew that green was equal to blue and that green was also equal to orange, then that means that blue and orange must be equal. So now let's get into exponents. So we're dividing x to the third divided by x to the third. Let's put an answer in this green box here. Anything divided by itself is 1. Now we can apply our shortcut as well, following the blue path, which says that when we're dividing, we get to take a step back and subtract the exponents. So what that means in my blue box is that my answer would be x to the 0 power, because 3 minus 3 is 0. I can also expand, so I know that x to the third on top means x times x times x, and x to the third on the bottom means x times x times x. And everywhere I see a pair of x's, they're going to cancel, leaving behind the number 1. And so if I multiply across top and bottom, I'm going to have 1 over 1, which is 1. So what I just did is I did the same math problem 3 different ways. And I've got a green answer of 1, a blue answer of x to the 0, and an orange answer of 1. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to write those answers on each colored line. My green got me 1, my blue got me x to the 0, and orange got me 1. Well, clearly I can see that 1 and 1 are the same, but all 3 ways are solving the same problem, which means all the answers must be the same. What this means is that anything to the 0 power must be 1. In a few minutes, we're going to see this proved a different way, but for right now, we just wanted to show you why it might be the case. Now let's get into negative exponents. If we're dividing, like here we're dividing y to the 5th and y to the 3rd, and the bases are the same, the shortcut tells us that we can subtract our exponents. So if I were to use the shortcut to simplify the expression x to the 3rd divided by x to the 5th, that would become x to the negative 2nd, because 3 minus 5 is negative 2. Let's expand and see what happens. X to the 3rd on top would mean x times itself 3 times, like I've got here in blue. X to the 5th on the bottom would mean x times itself 5 times, like I've got down here in red. And then every pair of x's on top and bottom is going to cancel, leaving behind that invisible number 1, 1 times 1 times 1, which is going to get me my numerator of 1. And on the bottom, I have x times itself twice, which would be my x squared. So my final answer when expanding is 1 over x squared. But my final answer when subtracting was x to the negative 2nd. So that means that these two answers must be equal. X to the negative 2nd has to be the same answer as 1 over x squared. And so I'm going to write that on these lines right here. X to the negative 2nd is the same as 1 over x squared. So you can see that I went from having a negative exponent to having a positive exponent when I made it into a fraction. So for 3 examples, we're going to apply the shortcut of subtracting in this column here, and then we're going to expand and simplify. So z to the 2nd divided by z to the 4th meant that I could subtract their exponents. 2 minus 4 is negative 2, so that's where z to the negative 2 came from. Z to the 2nd meant to do z times z, and z to the 4th meant to do z times itself 4 times. When I canceled, I'm left with a 1 in my numerator and z squared in my denominator. Pause the video, try examples 2 and 3, which is on the next slide for me. Press play when you're ready to check your answers. So since the p's are dividing each other, we can subtract their exponents. 3 minus 7 is negative 4. And then if we expand, p to the 3rd means p times itself 3 times. P to the 7th means p times itself 7 times. And I can cancel out 3 of my p's from top and bottom, leaving me with 1 over p times itself 4 times, which is p to the 4th. And for example 3, 5 minus 6 is negative 1, so h to the negative 1. 5 h's multiplying itself on top, 6 h's on bottom. I can cancel out 5 of my h's, leaving me with 1 over h. So now, do you think you could write the answer to this using only positive exponents, like here in the third column? Pause the video, press play when you're ready to check your answer. So in this case, my final answer is going to be 1 over x to the 6th. One way to think about this is trying to see where there are more x's located. I have 14 x's on top, 20 x's on bottom. This means that there's 6 extra x's that aren't going to cancel, and they're going to be on the bottom since there's more x's on the bottom.